I'm Abby with LuceLine Orchard.
Ryan.
He's my husband. And our family has owned and operated LuceLine Orchard since 2004. We started planting trees in 2007 after cleaning up the farm. And it takes about 3 years before trees are in full production. And prior to us opening to the public in 2012, we wholesaled apples to other local apple orchards. But unfortunately, in 2015, we were hit by a tornado, an F1 that took out 5,000 of our 10,000 trees that we'd all worked hard to plant together. Our family consists of my mom and dad, my brother, my sister, and myself, and all of our spouses who begrudgingly are drug out here every weekend to help volunteer and run the orchard together. We have 10,000 apple trees, we have 6,400 grapevines, and we have about 10 acres of pumpkins. We also have a 16-acre corn maze. In our retail barn, we try to support other local Minnesota businesses, and so almost everything that you'll find in the barn is made by somebody in Minnesota. So whenever you're buying from us, you're also buying from them, which we like to give back to the community any way that we can. We donate a bunch of pumpkins every year to actually Plymouth, their rec center, and that area that helped go to kids and create a fun environment for them. After our tornado hit, we had over 200 to 300 volunteers that showed up to help us clean up, which was one of the most amazing experiences we've ever been through, and we realize now how important it is to stay connected to community and to help others as a result of that, because we wouldn't have been able to open for the season had those 200 to 300 volunteers not come out to help us clean up. All of our animals will live here their whole entire lives. They are not rented or leased animals. They're our pets, and they're all named after family members. So we have Reed and Katie, our cows, who are named after my brother and his wife. Carol and Cameron, after my grandma and one of our favorite cousins. Tom and Todd are donkeys, after my uncles, no pun intended there. And we've got some sheep, Rose, Dottie, and Tango, and chickens, and we have ducks, and they are all our loving pets. We also have Briggs, our Bernese mountain dog, who's kind of our patriarch of our orchard. And then Tug over here, who is our favorite oldie goldie out here. We serve amazing, delicious foods, burgers, brats, dogs that are all cured in apple cider. We make our own apple onion slaw. We also have state fair cheese curds, corn dogs, and french fries, as well as our own signature apple fritters, which are to die for. A piece of our apple inside of almost like a mini donut batter. It's one of our #1 sellers. They're absolutely incredible. We also have mini donuts, our signature caramel apple brat, which is our brats that we grill and soak in an apple cider, and we drizzle caramel glaze. We've got the most beautiful nature trail in the state of Minnesota. So if you go down to our mulch path that goes around our cow and donkey pasture, and you can see where some of the trees fell in the tornado, and there's lots of scenic and informational pieces on birds out there. So bird watching is a big thing for us. We love birds, and we love feeding birds, and we get egrets out here, herons. We've had otters out in the middle of our creek before, which is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So our orchard we like to think of as our little slice of heaven and a nature lover's dream. We hire a ton of local kids here, and our staff has been with us for a lot of people have been here 7 years, 8 years since we opened in the public, and we could not do what we do every day without them. We love them, they're our family, and we've watched kids go off to college, and it's so fun to see the relationships that they develop because they all get together outside of the orchard and continue their friendships throughout their lifetime. And that's what we like to do here. We want to make memories with families. We have our cool signs for kids that say how tall this wall. So every year we have families that come back year after year and take a picture with their kiddos in front of the sign, and it's just so neat to see the development of these kids and just the families that come out, and we have the most awesome families, and we are so grateful to them because we couldn't do what we do without their support. We have 7 or 8 varieties of apples out here at LuceLine Apple Orchard. Sweet Tango, which is one of the newer varieties of apples, which is a cross between the Honeycrisp and the Zestar, which is an early apple. It's also the best keeper for all apples, and probably the most popular and biggest fan favorite is the Sweet Tango apple, next to the Honeycrisp, which is an awesome apple and a good keeper, and it stays fresh and crisp and tart, and it's just absolutely delicious. And an apple from an apple orchard that's fresh tastes so different than any store-bought apple that you'll ever try. My favorite apple is our Snow Sweet apple. Very few orchards have it, and we have a very short supply just because our trees are somewhat newer, and it takes a while. It takes almost 3 years once you plant a tree for them to produce to get into any form of production. And the Snow Sweet stays nice and white, and it doesn't oxidize right away, meaning that it doesn't yellow. So it's great for salads and baking, but it's also a delicious, crisp, sweeter apple. Keepsakes are a tart apple that we have. That's my sister's favorite. What's your favorite, Ryan?
My favorite apple has to be the Sweet Tango, definitely. Its parents are a Zestar, which is a Minnesota apple, and a Honeycrisp, and it's a cross. And it's a little bit earlier, but definitely it's got the great flavor, sweetness profiles of the Zestar, but still the crunch of the Honeycrisp.
And most of these apple varieties that we're talking about today were developed by the University of Minnesota, and we're grateful to them because we wouldn't have all these amazing, delicious apples if it wasn't for all their research throughout the years in developing the apples, including the Haralson, which is considered the best pie apple in the state of Minnesota, and we also have a bunch of Haralson trees as well. We are a family-owned business, and as all of you know who've ever owned a family-owned business, it's not always easy, but the one nice thing about this is unlike our full-time jobs, everybody's happy when they're out here, and it's the coolest thing to see, and it helps us escape from the reality of our full-time jobs because it's just beautiful, and it's a little slice of heaven that we get to share with all of our amazing customers.
I compliment that. Yeah, I would say it's half a family-ran business and half is just a community that we have out here between employees, returning families, and just the smiles you see on faces and seeing the kids one year after another and growing up. It's great.
Or eating a caramel apple the size of their face, and it's just pure joy and happiness. Or rolling down the hill, sitting with the pumpkins, or chasing, well, we try not to let people chase the chickens, but every once in a while they get away from us.
You got to watch your turns in the corn maze because Bigfoot has been known to be lurking around here.
Yeah, we have Sasquatch that makes daily appearances about every 2 hours out here, and he has been sighted, and he's real, guys. I've seen him myself.
Yeah, Sasquatch has been caught rolling down the hill with the kids.
He told me his name's Daryl, but I think it might really be Kenny.
Hey, buddy.
So this is our retail area. Almost everything is Minnesota made in here.
Awesome.
Try to support local Minnesota companies.
What kind of stuff do you sell?
Anything from apparel to soups to... Rachel, what's their best seller out here?
Honey butter.
Honey butter.
Yep, definitely the honey
So
butter.
our honey butter is made by a couple locally in Minnesota, and it is to die for. So I like to melt it and put it over popcorn.
Yum.
Apple crisp made with the apple crisp mix.
Okay.
And when it was warm, I poured our caramel over the top. And then I also have 4 apples to sample: the Honey Crisp, Haralson, Sweet Tango, and Snow Sweet.
Okay. I'd like to try the Snow Sweet. I've heard really good things about it. I don't think I've had that one before.
It's new to me as well, and this is the first time I've used it for baking with this apple.
Could I try one too, please?
Yeah. It's firm.
Yeah. It's really tart. I like the tanginess. Yum. Thank you.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of You Betcha Minnesota today.
Thanks for tuning in and hope you had as much fun as we did on our adventure. We'll see you next time.
See ya!